The financial services industry is experiencing drastic technology-led changes, and investment platform Round is playing its part in that transformation. Founder Saul Cohen says his aim is to change the competitive landscape by bringing wealth management to the masses. He joins us now in the studio. Welcome so much, Saul.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yes, well, thank you for being here. Let's dive right in. Round, tell us about what the mission was, where you started off with this idea.
Yeah, so we call Round a digital investment consultant or a digital investment advisor. So obviously we get people access to curated portfolios of Wall Street's top active fund managers. And Round was really born from kind of two separate sides of the story. My co-founder Ron was a software engineer, majored in finance, and he didn't really feel secure about putting his nest egg into just like a generic robo-advisor or passive ETFs.
Yeah.
And he came to me and he said, hey, well, where do you invest your money? And you know, I spent my career before that on Wall Street. I was working at a fund manager, and you know, I was working with some of the best minds on the planet in fixed income. And you know, I really saw how this great fund manager was being built. Mm-hmm. And you know, I kind of sat in this position where I saw the infrastructure necessary to make intelligent investment decisions, and right. I saw kind of what it took from a team perspective to really make those smart decisions. And you know, I think the firm I was at was really great at managing money. And I sat in this position where I think institutional investors kind of saw that value, but for the individual or the retail investor, even if you had like 20 million at a big financial advisor,
sure.
You kind of had to go through this like middleman salesperson process to really get access to these smart investment decision makers. So the way I really look at the investment industry for the individual,
sure.
is you have manufacturers of investment strategies, mm-hmm. which are like these fund managers, and then you really have kind of these curators and distributors, which are these like middlemen, or there's basically so many steps of sales and middlemen associated with investing,
right.
In funds for everyday investors. So basically, Ron and I teamed up to basically automate as many middlemen and salespeople as we possibly could.
With that automation, who is the core customer that you're going after?
So, I think, we are digital first. Yeah. So, naturally, someone between, the ages of 30 and 45 would want to gravitate towards us. It's typically someone who, cares about where they're investing, not necessarily how to get invested. So Round's typically for individuals who are, smart savers that are looking for a sophisticated place to invest their money, that obviously are busy and don't have the time to try and analyze where to place their investments, so they come to us for that guidance.
What's the type of diversification that you are also recommending within mm-hmm. that guidance, and how does it vary based on the customer that you're working with?
So, we've seen some studies which are really interesting, and that show that ultra high net worth individuals and institutions have a greater asset allocation to like fixed income and alternative asset classes. Mm-hmm. And we try to take like a similar approach for our customers. As a customer, you come to us, you tell us about yourself through our onboarding, and then that goes into our portfolio construction software, mm-hmm. And then you are basically allocated by our team to top-tier managers that don't just invest in generic asset classes.
Sure.
They'll invest in fixed income markets or alternative markets, which will give you potentially more of a similar asset allocation to more of a high-end investment experience. Is
there interest from your clients that you're seeing right now where, sure, they may have the recommended strategy mm-hmm. that you're providing them, but they also say, hey, there's this company that I'm really passionate about. I'd like to be a little bit more active in that part of my portfolio. How do you make sure that you're managing correctly and also giving them some type of flexibility along the way as well?
So, this is our view and our thesis. Leave it to the professionals, right? Mm-hmm. I think if you're going to get heart surgery, you don't say to the doctor, this is how you should be doing it.
I'd like to be cut this
right?
way, actually.
Yeah. I think investing in the financial markets is really, really complicated, and it requires a great deal of infrastructure. So our view is that we try to abstract away unnecessary risks from our customers, which means that we internally as a company make the decision on who are the best managers in our view to be managing your money, and then inevitably those managers select the stocks and the bonds and the alternative asset classes that are in your portfolio.
For you yourself and the team, when you are putting together an algorithmic-based approach perhaps, or at least making sure that all of the different checks and boxes that you self-prescribe ahead of time are being checked on the way to somebody creating a portfolio, how do you look at the next year? How do you kind of take into account some of the risks that are out there in the markets?
Right, so at Round, effectively what we've created is a way for our human team to scale our decision making for a large audience, right? So at Round, our technology enables our team to then go in and diligence managers and figure out who's best at what, and then obviously these fund managers have their own infrastructure and make intelligent decisions in whatever market that they specialize. So for us, everything about Round is dynamic, right? So your portfolio is constructed in a dynamic manner. So we're very focused on creating portfolios that aren't just focused on only investing in stocks where there might be potential risks at certain times.
Sure.
It's really important to have this dynamic approach when investing. Managers are active and they dynamically select securities and stocks and bonds or whatever it is, and then internally portfolios are dynamic. So if there's a potential area of the financial markets that may not make sense from a risk standpoint, we have the ability to allocate customers away from risky areas like that.
In 5 words or less, how would you describe the next year to 18 months for Round?
So I think number one, we care most about our customers and getting them access to the best portfolios. So we're going to continue to focus on that.
All right, a little over that 5 words, but that's all right. We won't thank you for it. Saul, thank you so much for